What's happening, guys, and welcome to episode 37 of the Galactic Explorers Podcast. I am your host, and for the first time you see my ugly mug. How you doing, guys? Yes, a new setup for the podcast. It's not going to be as boring to watch if you're watching us on YouTube. Obviously, for the listeners on Android devices and Apple devices, whatever, you won't see this part, so don't even worry. But yes, we have got webcams, or I have got webcam currently up. Jeff will be joining us some point in the future.
Hopefully next time.
Hopefully next time, and you'll be able to see what we're actually looking at and talking about as well, as we're talking about it. So yes, and also, if any of you keen-eyed people might have noticed, I've got some possible future swag. Possible.
Oh, that's swag though.
That's swag though. So a few little tweaks to stuff, and maybe there'll be some up for grabs at some point. But yes, as always, you've heard his voice. You haven't seen his face yet, but you heard his voice. I am with Jeff. How are you doing, sir?
Not bad. How are you?
I am very well, thank you very much. I'm so glad it's almost the end of the week after the week of mishaps recording that we've had.
My days are always so busy. Like, I don't know, the weeks and weekends just blend together.
Yeah. So this is our second time at recording this episode, guys.
Take two.
Yes. The first time it was a recording error on my part, so apologies for that. But yes, we are back. We are going to re-talk about everything that we talked about on, was it Monday night? Or was it Sunday night? One of the two, wasn't it?
I can't remember now. I think it was Sunday.
Yeah.
It was one of those days.
Yeah, it was Sunday or Monday, yeah. So yeah, and we were both kind of busy until Thursday the 21st. So yes.
Before we get started, can I know you're a huge fan of the World Cup.
Yes.
Right. This is really off topic, but I gotta get your opinion on it. Have you seen the story that came out today about Burger King?
Oh, about the apologising for, was it giving a prize for any woman who gets pregnant by a player at the World Cup?
Yeah.
That's got to be a Russian thing. No offence to any Russians that are listening, but god damn.
Yeah. Well, it was the Russian Burger King that was doing it, so I mean, like, I don't know how they're affiliated with the U.S. branch or whatever, but they're. I was reading that article, and I was like, oh, now. So if the women got pregnant by a World Cup player, they got a lifetime supply of Whoppers.
Nice.
And I think it was, they did all the conversion, but it was like, for all you U.S. people out there, it was $47,000 U.S. And I don't know how that works out to rubles or whatever the hell those people use over there, but it was roughly about $47,000 on top of the lifetime supply of Whoppers.
That is crazy.
Like, what is the whole purpose behind that?
Oh. I mean, footballers these days don't get the chance to go out and socialise like that anyway. Like I think it was like, even in the early 90s was when it changed. Like in the early 90s, like players were still going out drinking, like just going to the pub and stuff, and then it just changed as footballers kind of became celebrities. So and plus as well, like that the whole diet thing took over in like the early 90s as well. So diet was just, like, players were told to stop smoking and stuff and stop drinking, and they put on diet plans and everything like that. So
right. I mean, I see that. I mean, that makes sense. They're running a lot. I mean,
exactly.
I can't imagine any of them smoking that much.
I think over like a 90-minute period, I think some of the most active players run to about 14 or 15 kilometers.
Oh my gosh!
Over an hour and a half. So. Not over. How long is an actual American football game?
Well,
like, if you take out, like, what's the actual play time?
I mean, it's 60 minutes, but I mean, it takes about like 2.5 to 3 hours, depending on how many commercial breaks and timeouts there are and stuff. So.
Exactly. I mean, I do not understand. Like, the only breaks that you get in a football match, like a prolonged period, is the half-time break, which is 15 minutes.
You know, I'm not like really the hugest fan of soccer, but the one thing I do respect soccer for is the fact that they don't take timeouts like every 5 minutes and stuff like that. It's continuous play. Like, it's such a it's not even that big of it's not even like the brightest idea. It's just what it should be. And like, I don't know why all these other sports like baseball, dude, it takes like almost 4 hours to play a Major League Baseball game out here, and it's only 9 innings. Like, it's like, I don't know how, like, I would never. Like, I'm not the hugest baseball fan, but, like, you can't pay me to sit down and watch that game for a 4-hour period, like, out in the sun and shit like that. Like, you can't do it. Like,
it hardly even makes them athletes, because I can't even imagine them getting a sweat on.
Oh, you know, you just stand around.
Like, after 5 minutes, like, when you see footballers on the TV, after 5 minutes, they're all sweating because they're running around constantly. So, but yes, as you can see, guys, this is a conversational podcast. We don't have boundaries.
I just had to bring that up because I know you're a huge World Cup fan.
I am, and I'm very happy that England won our first group game on Sunday. Was it Sunday? It was. I don't know. I know our next game is this coming Sunday, but yes, let's get on to our
about that.
Our beginning topic of choice as always, and that is No Man's Sky and Waking Titan news. Because we've had a couple of weeks hiatus, would you want to say?
Yeah, I could say that.
Yeah, due to E3 and family commitments, etc., etc. There's been a few things that's been going on, but it's been more like just continuations of the same thing that's been going on, if that makes sense. But let's where we left off last episode was the email from the old gods. Letting us know about well, on screen you can see now the actual email and what it says. So if you want to pause that and read it, it's all crazy.
It was basically like almost like a wrap up of like everything up until that point. Some of it was, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, basically it was kind of like a roundup of everything what's happened, and then kind of not ending that storyline, but kind of letting you know what's going on to a new thing.
There was also like that survey too, that 10 question survey.
Yeah. So, but yeah, then we moved on to a few other things. The invisible Unicode messages. I'm not going to go through all these because it's just a lot of numbers and it's kind of boring. If you guys want to just pause the video and look at them, or by all means go ahead and do so. I'll just leave it over the certain areas that you want to look at. It's basically a lot of like the in-depth stuff that a lot of the Waking Titan. Do you want to call them players or participants?
What do you mean? Like the people?
Who are like really hard for Waking Titan, like the whole thing.
I don't know. I mean, they're not. I guess they're player participants. I guess.
Yeah.
just group them all into like one big thing. The hardcore Waking Titan people.
Exactly.
Those are the people that are really into it. You know.
Yeah. For me personally, it's kind of a bit over the top at sometimes. Like this whole. I don't know. Like I can tell obviously their times, but then yeah. Right, and then we've got the uplink access code on June the 7th. The solution to the puzzle was found by comparing the pattern of booms, the two unique signals A and B, which turned out to be the Fibonacci sequence, as you can see down here. Appending all specified numbers into a single string gives the access code for the uplink calibration app. Have you actually managed to get your app working yet?
No.
No, you still haven't. Right, so guys,
I turned my location thing on. Did everything I was supposed to do, and I just can't get it to work, man. Like I don't get it.
Right. So guys,
it's got to be something simple I'm doing wrong. I know it is.
Jeff is using an Android device, and he's not able to use anything with the calibration app, the Uplink calibration app. Mine works fine. I'm on an Apple device, but Jeff is using Android. Did you manage to use it at all, even with the satellite uplink? Sorry.
No,
nothing at all. It's just downloaded it and it just doesn't do anything.
I've been having to live like vicariously through other people.
Right. Okay.
More successful than I am.
Right. So if anyone knows what's wrong, like he can download, well not download it, but pin the app to his screen page, whatever you want to call it.
I can get the app to open, and all of a sudden at the bottom of the screen, like I open right now, it says add this web app to your home screen. Open the browser option menu and tap on add to home screen. Like I did that. That's how I got to this point, and it's just like an endless cycle. Like I can't get it to work.
Well, if any of you guys know, obviously write down in the comments down below, or hit Jeff up on Twitter at Retro Wi-Fi Gaming.
I have a feeling that by the time I get it going, it will be over with.
Yeah, the next update will be out.
Yeah, yeah, next will be out by the time I actually get.
Jeff, we also still need to get you to change your Twitter to Multigrain Pasta.
Oh, I know. I don't know how to. Can I change the @
Yeah.
How do I do that?
You go to like your options on your account, and you don't need to like put your password in or anything. You literally just go to it. It tells you. In there somewhere. I can even tell you like later after this.
I found it.
Yeah, it's easy to do anyway. So the access code for the Uplink calibration app was given from the Fibonacci code, or the Fibonacci sequence anyway. Later that day, the status command in the Waking Titan terminal updated, saying Uplink calibration completed, waiting for system initialization. And then Emily posted on June the 8th. As you can see, that guys, this was a while ago now, so you might have caught up, you might not have. Emily posted a new thread to the subreddit, Loop 16 Sequence 29, which linked to another voice recording. I'll let you guys read that. Remember to pause the video. Then we get to the Satcom 70 node network and dashboard, which was this the one where Thingy died?
Oh, Emily? Oh, not Emily. Elizabeth?
Yeah, Elizabeth. Was this where Elizabeth died? No. I think this was where it's. Oh no! I think this is where it mentions the Dreamers.
Oh yeah, no. Elizabeth dies further on down the line here.
If you guys want to read this stuff, make sure you read it. Make sure to pause the video. It's a lot to go through. I don't want to just be talking to you guys, like reading it, and it's on screen for you. So look through. Then we got some dashboard console commands. The command search myriad gave the following output in the dashboard console. It looks like it was either French, wasn't it? We thought. I think it's French, isn't it?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah. Then we got a where report after that, which was on the where RDev Twitter account. Which linked to a password encrypted zip file. So from the tweet, the real hash from the zip file were converted to decimal, and the difference was then converted to ASC2, leading to a pastebin link. The pastebin contained the data matrix barcode. You can look at that, and decoder for the password for the zip file, and then the zip archive contained a file report. Approximately 11:15 local time on June the 8th, the Beijing facility suffered a catastrophic mass disconnect. So basically, 14 of the Dreamers that was at that complex in Beijing died. Well, 10 of them died immediately, and then 4 died later on. Basically just closing it for like 10 days or whatever, which would have. Oh, it doesn't actually. Oh yeah, during the 8th. So the 18th, it would have reopened. It would have reopened on the 18th, wouldn't it?
Well,
So
it says 4 to 10 business days, so they really didn't say. Like, yeah, it could have been anywhere between those.
Yeah, I think
days.
I think in Beijing's China, isn't it? Not Japan.
It's China.
Yeah, I think in China, I think they have 6 working days. I think. I don't think they have 7. I don't think they have 5. I think Saturday's classed as a working day. I know. I think they go to school like 6 days a week over in China. I think. Maybe.
These people are crazy over there, man.
Yeah. And then on June the 10th, Emily made a new post on the subreddit, Loop 16 Sequence 49, with a link to a YouTube video titled the same thing. Oh no, titled Loop 16 Sequence 46.
I think this is the video where Emily actually started to sound like her old self again, not
Yeah.
like a robotic version that we
Yeah.
had before.
Make sure you guys pause this to have a look at it. I'm not going to read it through to you because I don't have the same acting prowess as the lady who plays Emily. So yeah, make sure you guys read that through. And then we got a myriad breach in the Sacramento lab. This is where I believe
Yes, this is where
Elizabeth was blown up, basically.
Which I'm really sad about because I really enjoyed seeing her in the person.
Yeah. She was kind of our like human link to the whole game, to the whole ARG. So Myriad Field Team dispatched to non-compliant Sacramento facility. Field Team has breached the facility. Stand by for additional information. 12 comatose individuals located in the facility. Field Team moving to secure. So this is like a transcript of what happened when this field team went to find out what happened at Sacramento. 12 apparent test subjects secured, safely transported out of the facility. Field team will clear the rest of the site and wait further instruction. Alert, security breach reported at Myriad sublocation. So we got another status report after that and some captured footage. This is a transcript of Elizabeth's phone call.
Her final words.
Yeah. So she says, yeah, I'm holding. I hear you. Wait, can you hold that thought? I need a full report. What's the situation on the field team? Okay, that's good. At what point? How many? It's so weird when you don't get the other person's side of the conversation. 15 labs, but how many do we have access to? And what's the situation on the first one? All dead, all of them? Sophie, so obviously she's talking to Sophie Dubois. This changes everything. This completely changes the game. Yes. Whom? Your friend at the DOD. This isn't under their jurisdiction. We have to deal with this ourselves. Okay, I'll cut. And then cut off by explosion. Kapow! No more.
Dramatic explosion.
Yeah. Kapow! No more Elizabeth. Or so we are led to believe, possibly. Then we got.
I don't think she's dead. Personally,
I do. I don't know why. I just got a feeling that that's it. Because I mean, obviously we looked at a few weeks ago. We looked at her acting resume, and she seems fairly active, especially on the gaming front. And yeah, I mean, she might be working on the. Well, I doubt she's working on the Assassin's Creed game anymore because it's nearly finished to come out, isn't it? Really.
Pretty soon.
Yeah, so she might be moving on.
Ubisoft, they like to pump out games like year after year, so I mean, she could be working on the next one.
Possibly, I suppose. Or even something else. She might be working on. What could she be working on? Beyond Good and Evil 2. She could be working on that because that's another Ubisoft one. I think I've got a paper cup. Anyway.
Thanks for the status report.
Yeah, I thought I added to the whole Awakened Titan thing.
This is where I was when we were actually recorded the first time. This is like my tinfoil hat idea I had about this whole thing.
Oh yeah. Then we got in the memo. We got a status report. In the memo, it was announced that Major Dubois would be replacing Elizabeth Layton. So, see, that's where we're thinking Elizabeth will be gone now, and then we'll soon see this Major Dubois in person.
If we see her.
I think we might see her. Because otherwise, I mean, we haven't even really seen Emily, really, have we?
Well, we've seen her in those two YouTube
but not prolonged videos or clips or anything, are they? Like when we had Elizabeth and that it was kind of like a Q&A, wasn't it?
That thing on Twitch that one time?
Yeah, so I don't know, maybe we'll get a link to the real world version.
I wish they would do more stuff like that instead of this numbers crap. I wish they would just do more interactive, live stuff.
Mm-hmm. Dubois first said that she found more Atlas passes for CSD's designations PB16 and PT16. So if you were one of those, just check your mail for them soon. I know some have been delivered already, haven't they? I've seen on Twitter.
Yeah, I've seen some people getting them.
Mm-hmm. A code at the end of the memo led to a YouTube video of Queen and David Bowie's Under Pressure. Or Bowie. David Bowie? David Bowie? Bowie, yeah. I'm not old enough really to remember his songs. Jeff.
Sorry, sir. I just know who he is. I mean, I'm not a huge David Bowie fan.
Yeah, but you probably... What was that film that he did? Was it Dark Crystal?
Oh, you're talking to the wrong person. I don't watch too many movies. So.
Okay, it was it's like a cult classic, I think. It was kind of like Pan's Labyrinth before Pan's Labyrinth. So I hear.
I'm very selective with the movies I watch.
So yeah, and then the status page on the Myriad70.com also updated, changing to the on-the-ground speed averages for Beijing. So it's a lot of just information-wise. So make sure you guys pause if you're really interested in reading it up. Then we got the values of the status and the Loop 16 commands both updated. Uplink app updating progress, downloading additional components, testing simulation process, which the status page on Myriad 70 changed as well, changing the on-the-ground speed averages again. And then Emily posted a new topic on the subreddit. It led to a YouTube video of her transcribed below, so make sure you guys read that. And then we started connecting to these dreamers, which is mentioned in her YouTube video. Now, these dreamers are the people who are locked into the whole simulation, it would seem. And now our current task is to unlock these people from the simulation, isn't it, Jeff?
Absolutely. At least try to. We can communicate with them, apparently.
Yes. I'm not sure if we can communicate them. I think it's more... It's going through records, isn't it? It would appear anyway. Going through these records of memory records and things like that.
Have you been seeing on Twitter? Did I send you the picture of one of the dreamers is just a number?
Yes, the hashtag 2311876661T.
Have you found that? Have you seen the screenshot? Of how that dreamer is actually mentioned in No Man's Sky right now in the story?
I have not, no.
Let me... I'll send you this picture on Twitter real quick.
Okay,
Someone found in one of the... I don't know if it was one of the abandoned... what the hell this thing is? Not the broke down freighter lore balls or just whatever... someone found that actual number is talked about in the... Here, I just sent it to you.
Okay, let me just... here we go, guys. So I've got this on screen for us now. So scenario iteration, hashtag 23118766 transferred, deleted, probable boundary separation failure, vessel 16 emptied, sentinel intervention, deliberate transfer unknown. Do you reckon this hashtag 23118766 what a name, it rolls right off the tongue. Do you reckon this is whoever Elizabeth came from or something? Not Elizabeth, Emily, sorry.
Now that I'm looking at this picture,
It's the same vessel 16.
this is a picture of somebody that just started the game. Because you know how, like, when you start the game and you land, you open the Atlas pod?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Because you can see the Atlas ball above this thing. Like, you see this right when you start a new game.
Yeah. It says there, doesn't it, vessel 16? Obviously, Emily is Luke 16. Do you reckon that this person is a designated number, do you reckon that could be Emily?
That's interesting.
Tinfoil hats, everybody.
Wow, I never really thought about putting those two together before.
Because I mean, she must have obviously.
That is the.
Go on.
No, that is the screenshot. Like, that's the.
Yeah, when you first start the game.
That's what prompts you to follow the Atlas path.
Yeah.
No shit.
Because obviously we know Emily is a program, don't we? But she must have. Because obviously she's chosen a visual, physical form, hasn't she? Kind of thing. So she's got a human face.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe she's picked this face from this vessel 16.
Well, you know, it's funny. I remember how, like, we always, like, there was one part of this whole thing where we would have to call in and, like, give our voice or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, now we're taking pictures of physical objects and, like, sending it to them, and, like, pictures of bracelets and shit. Like, I wonder if she's just pulling from stuff that we're giving her. Like, maybe that's how she found what her form was going to be. Like, maybe she just grabbed the image of somebody, and that's what form she took, maybe? I don't know.
It's possible.
This whole thing is weird. Like, now, like, that's so weird that they had that. That's important. Like, I think that should be, like, I'm not good enough to, like, investigate that, but someone should really dig deep into that and figure out, like, is that really Emily? That she, you know, if that's Emily in the dream and she's, I don't know. You made a really good point there. Like, I never really thought about that, but after looking at that picture, I didn't realize at first when I looked at that picture, I was so concentrated on just the words, you know what I'm saying, like the caption.
Well, what are the ones at the crash freighters? Because obviously there's things that look like that at the crash freighters, isn't there?
Yeah, but those ones are still connected. Like the top of the ball like shoots up, and it's still connected by like a light rod or something like that. You know what I'm saying? It's not like a ball, like not like an Atlas ball like that. That's the only time you see that is when you start a game like that.
Right. There you go, guys. So basically we've got to decrypt files, 6 files for each of these dreamers. We've got Alexander. Yes, we've got Alexander, who is here, and with each of these dreamers, it seems we have a exosuit, a dreamer exosuit, which is obviously an in-game model for your character. And you can see these memory fragments down here. This is starting to. Go on, sorry.
No, I said they're finally starting to link some of No Man's Sky to this.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? They're finally starting to put some of it together.
Yeah. So we've got these memory fragments, what you've got to unlock. And then with each unlock, it kind of fixes this DNA strand as well. So, yeah. Read that if you guys want to have a look at it. And then we've got obviously this hashtag 23. Blah 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 blah. Oh, actually, if you click on the the actual person, the hashtag 23, actually says that quote that you sent me in that message.
Oh, okay, right on.
On June the 15th at 10 p.m, Emily posted hashtag 231187661T's Reddit patient support thread. Was initially unreachable due to all files being corrupted. After the Dreamer became available, players discovered a log entry within No Man's Sky that presented to players at the very start of the game. There you go. Which is the scenario iteration, hashtag 23118766112, transfer deleted, probable boundary separation failure, vessel 16 emptied, sentinel intervention, deliberate transfer, unknown diagnostic, no connection analysis, waiting fresh iteration, anomalous containment prepared. So yeah, there you go, guys. And then we have also got Yoon Ha. Once again, guys, if you want to have a look at this stuff, I'll let you pause it so you can see. And then finally we have Philip, which I believe is Philip the most recent. Oh no, they all came out on the same day. Oh no, Alexander's the most recent, on which was yesterday, 20th. But yeah, here's Philip's for you once again, the guys.
I wonder if we're gonna have to go through all 12 of these people.
Well, I guess it kind of works out 4 at a time.
Right.
So yeah, perhaps.
I think I want to take this moment right here to say a huge shout out to Peaceful Gamer, because this guy is on point with this shit. Like, he is constantly updating all of this stuff on his Twitter page, so like follow him on Twitter. But he posted something like a picture. I'm not sure who the Dreamer was, but there says that there's some type of a live community event or something like that. Was the end result of the unlocks or something?
Right. Okay. That? No, I haven't seen that. Is that someone suggesting that's what's going to happen? Or that is definite confirmed?
No. Okay. So you see how like each Dreamer has like a dashboard.
Yeah.
Like, see how like they all get filled in eventually once they get I don't know what's the word I'm looking for, like filled in or whatever.
Yeah. What, their memory fragments?
Yeah, so the one of them, the very last one that is getting...
Stream downlink access? Community event?
Yeah, I think it might be it. I think that might be it.
Yeah.
One of them says something about a community event.
Yeah.
Like that's yet to unlock. So like it sounds like there's going to be a community event of some sort coming up soon.
Interesting. Yeah.
I'm trying to find Peaceful Gamers.
Yeah, I'm looking at they've got it on the Waking Titan page. Got the dashboards.
Oh, okay.
And it says stream downlink access community event. So
I see it right here. It's under Unha.
Yeah, it's the same on Alexander as well. So I'm guessing it's the same on all of them. Let's double check, guys. And apart from 2-3. It says just data corrupted for every single piece of their memory fragments. Do we check Philip? Let's double check Philip. Philip has data corrupted again for the last 3. So it looks like only 2 of them have got the community event as their last memory fragment currently, anyway. So yeah, then we've got a liability subroutine on June the 19th. The Loop 16 command in the Waking Titan console changed to output new guidance protocol initiated keyword liability. Entering liability into the Uplink app displayed the following: initiating liability subroutine, dear citizen scientist. The positive impact you've had so far on the Dreamers is astonishing and has been a tremendous help in rebuilding their memory blocks. Remember that we need to gather as much information as possible on these individuals to safely extract them from the satellites. Keep reading that, guys, if you really want to. That's all they've got on the Waking Titan website. As Jeff has kindly mentioned, Peaceful Gamer, who got his link right up here right now. There you go, at Peaceful Gamer on Twitter. He's up to date on his Waking Titan shit.
Exactly. It's a perfect way to put it.
Exactly. If you want to know anything, you go and follow him. I don't know anyone else who's as up to date as he is. I think.
On point.
Yeah, I think L Plays retweets him all the time. I think even Cobra isn't as on it as Peaceful Gamer is. So make sure you guys give him a follow if you haven't already. Today, this is one of the exosuits that we got. This is Wendy Petit. All of the new Waking Titan Dreamers icons representations. We've got that one and this one. As you can see, they're all like customizable, it would seem. This is the elements that get unlocked. This is from completing the. Was this from completing the memory blocks? I think. I would have thought so.
What, the exosuit stuff? It was either that or someone snagged it off of like one of the websites or something like that. You know how they get those pictures.
Yeah.
And shit. Like they either hack the websites or they leak it out there somehow.
Yeah. So basically, we got like a corrupt file of development art from No Man's Sky for in-game exosuits, or what we will see other players as. This is on Peaceful Gamer again. Then, yes. So obviously, someone ended up cleaning out this whole image, what we just saw on Peaceful Gamer's tweet. And I did say, do you follow someone called Your Basic Maths on Twitter?
What?
Do you follow someone called Your Basic Maths on Twitter?
What do you mean? No, I don't think I do.
Well, he retweeted. He basically cleaned up a. What did he do? He borrowed Ashka, No Man's Sky's player model, what he cleaned up, and he superimposed it into a scene on game, and it looks really cool. So there you go, guys.
Yeah, I think Legacy Zero like borrowed that picture, and I think he was using it. I have seen that one. It's like standing in like the blue grass.
Yeah,
or something like that. Yeah, really cool. Really cool. Shit.
Yeah, it's really cool, that one. So there you go, guys. That's it really for Waking Titan news. To be fair, let's go on to also No Man's Sky / Hurl games related, and that's their complete lack of presence at E3 this year, which rightly so. Jeff did predict that neither Hello Games or at least Sean Murray and No Man's Sky wouldn't be.
There's no way he was showing up. There's no way they were showing anything.
I'm not gonna lie, the PlayStation press conference had plenty of time to stick them on there. It's not like it's not like PlayStation was chock-a-block full of stuff.
Especially during that abysmal 15-minute intermission that they had to do.
Do you know why they did that?
Yeah, because they had to shuttle all the people from one tent to another tent. What a stupid idea. Whoever came up with that idea should be fired.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sick of them doing like all this tomfoolery. Like, you know what? Just give me a normal game press conference next year. Like, I don't need just dramatic like music intros and weird like shit. Like, it's so strange. Like, Xbox finally got it and put on an actual
game related
conference.
Yeah.
And PlayStation went the complete opposite direction and gave me some weird like art studio film college like dude, you know what,
some Andy Warhol shit.
Yeah, like, you know what, just give me a freaking game conference and show more than 4 freaking games next year. Like, I know they had like a couple, like if you followed E3 closely, like PlayStation showed off like, I don't know, maybe 30 games like a day or two after the whole conference, but that's not good enough. Like, no one's seen that. Like, unless you were religiously following the E3 shit, like, you would never know that PlayStation was showing off all those games, and it was just horrible. Like, what a horrible... Like, I understand they want to show actual gameplay, and that's all well and good, but, I mean, you gotta do better. Like, that was really bad, man. It was embarrassing, to be honest.
I mean, it would appear to me that PlayStation blown their wad, so to speak, early in the game, in the console's life cycle, with obviously what's that post-apocalyptic game?
I know what you're talking
with
about.
With the robot animals.
Oh, Horizon.
Horizon Zero Dawn. What else is there? There is God of War. What other games did they get? Have they made for PS4 so far?
Well, you know what was so weird too was that like they came out a couple months ago and they came out publicly and said that this is the end of the life cycle for PlayStation 4.
Well, what they mean by that is the sales of the PS4 have started not declining, but they're not rising anymore. So basically, they've gone to the end of the PlayStation being on a continuous up of being bought. So it's now plateaued. So obviously, from now on, it's just going to be games getting released, and then obviously it'll trickle off.
I would have thought they would at least said something like, "Oh, we have a new PlayStation in development that won't be coming out for a couple of years, but this is what we have planned."
No,
like, just mention it.
Well, if you think about it, though, the Xbox, because of the length of the lifespan of the 360 and the PS3, because that was a 10-year life cycle, because of the financial turmoil that the world was going through at the time, that is the main reason why the Xbox 360 and the PS2 was around for so long. Is because companies couldn't afford to invest in making new consoles at that time. But their life cycles would have finished around the same time, like 5 years into after release.
You know, I understand that, but like developers are already publicly stating that even like the Xbox One X, like the hardware is falling behind now. Like they can develop better stuff than what the PlayStation the Xbox can handle. So, like, why? I mean, I understand, like, you want to keep it. I don't know. I mean, you're holding your customers back because you want to make more sales. Like, if the developers are saying that they can push it harder and your equipment can't handle it, then why don't you give them something that can handle it?
The consoles will turn into PCs, though, won't they? Where PCs are constantly always outdated.
Well, that's their main competition is PC.
But that's the thing, though. Obviously, what consoles have over PC is the price.
Oh, dude, that price is that gap is closely coming together.
Yeah, but your console more or less is guaranteed to work for 5, 6, 7 years without having to upgrade anything on it. Really, is there? I mean, yeah, sometimes your console might die from being overused or overheated or anything, but with a PC, you usually got to upgrade parts within at least that amount of time. At some point,
but with PC, I mean, you have so many more advantages, though. Like, you have
I agree, but obviously consoles are aimed at people who can't really afford to buy a high-end gaming PC, can they? Really?
Well, dude, who can afford to buy a $500 Xbox One X?
Yeah, but but if you still buy a high-end gaming PC, it's still going to cost you at least $1,000, isn't it?
Yeah, no, you're right. You're not wrong.
And plus, it's space. It's convenient to have a console. You can pick it up and take it anywhere with you, can't you? Essentially, you can pick it up and carry it around with you.
That's 100% true. I mean, you're not wrong.
A piece. I mean, obviously, you got that same thing with a laptop, sure, but obviously, usually most gamers play on an actual PC rather than a laptop. Mm-hmm. And you got screens, content, because obviously with a PC, a high-end gaming PC, usually $1,000 is just for the actual PC. It's not for your mouse, your keyboard, your screen, that kind of stuff as well. So
that's if you're just jumping into the PC market. A lot of people
exactly.
Buy PCs already have a nice monitor, keyboard, like a mouse. Like I have all that, so all I need is just a new tower.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying, so I wouldn't buy all the other shit.
But that's at least with a console, all you just need is a TV. You've got the control. You get the controller with the console. So it is more aimed at people who don't want to have to spend that much on a PC. Guaranteed, more or less, a working console for at least 5 years.
No, I get it. I get it. I don't know. I just think like technology is moving so fast that I just think that eventually, like this console generation years or whatever 5 or 7 year thing is just going to fall way behind what developers can do. I mean, you know how technology doubles and triples like over.
Well, I reckon because obviously PlayStation didn't announce it, but Xbox mentioned that they're deep into working onto their next console generation of consoles. I reckon companies work on 2 consoles at a time. So obviously they work on one, and then they're working on obviously one further down the line. So it's kind of like how the developers of Call of Duty work on 3 games at a time, but a year behind each one of them. So one game comes out one year, but then
that's easy to do for Call of Duty because all their games are pretty much the same shit anyway.
But it's similar kind of stuff, isn't it? So that's how they're probably working. That's how Sony and Xbox probably work on it. But it's also like target marketing as well. Like obviously Nintendo have got a whole niche where their whole niche is more cartoony looking graphics, aimed at younger audiences, and also handheld. They've got that market down to basically either between them or like cell phone companies.
I was gonna say they have no competition.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's easy to be the leader.
It's all that stuff. But anyway, let's get back to, like we said, No Man's Sky and Hello Games not being at E3.
Sorry about that.
505 games were actually at E3 this year, but I didn't see anyone I don't think I saw anyone on Twitter go to their booth and see anything No Man's Sky related, which is weird. Yeah, especially when it's one of their games what they're publishing to Xbox, and it's coming out next month. What did we say? Is it 24th or the 26th?
24th.
24th. So literally in 3 days it'll be a month away. So it's a bit weird.
Huge missed opportunity.
But then again, I kind of understand it, because what are you going to show? They're not going to have a demo there, that's for sure, because obviously they want to keep it a whole secret.
No.
So I'm not sure what they would have shown anyway. They just had a board up, set, like a No Man's Sky advertising board or something, or what. But yeah, it's a little bit disappointing, really. I mean, there wasn't even in the Xbox or the Sony montage video, the usual montage videos that they have.
Does Sony even have one of those?
I have a feeling that it was. I want to say it would have either been in that 15-minute break, or it would have been towards the end. Obviously, Microsoft had one right at the beginning, didn't they? And then they had it like an Indies one as well.
I'm trying to block out that whole Sony conference.
Yeah, it wasn't great. But yeah, it was just a little bit disappointing. But I guess I can understand with the whole secrecy of the ARG and everything what's going on at the moment.
Just when I thought Square Enix couldn't, no one can do any worse than Square Enix, Sony's like, okay, I'm gonna try.
I mean, their only saving grace really was, I think there was 2 games. That was Last of Us Part 2, and that Ghost of Tsushima?
It looked pretty good. I mean,
it was very stylized. It looks cool. I mean, the gameplay we saw wasn't lots of it, but I'll tell you something. That Ghost of Tsushima looks a lot better than the Xbox equivalent game. I can't remember what it's called, but there was an Xbox like Japanese sword game where this guy's got an arm missing. I cannot remember for the life of me what it's called, but it doesn't look good to me personally. It looks a bit rough around the edges.
Well, that's typical. PlayStation games are usually pretty more refined than Xbox.
Yeah.
Games,
so yes, that was it from Hello Games. Another big announcement though from Hello Games, but from E3 was, and I have to take credit for this one, I believe. I predicted correctly that Starfield will be officially announced at Bethesda, and lo and behold, we got a teaser trailer at the end. Second to last thing they showed was Starfield. We haven't got any release dates or anything. Just like a minute and a half long teaser trailer.
All we know that it is actually playable in a playable state, right?
Yeah. So I think the day after, or 2 days after Bethesda's press conference, Pete Hines had an interview with, it might be Eurogamer or GameStop or something. I can't remember. And he confirmed that Starfield is currently in a playable condition. Don't know what that means. That could mean it's just really early alpha gameplay or what. But they also said in the press conference, Todd Howard said that they're now working on 2 games. I still haven't actually gone back and re-listened to it, but they said they're working on 2 games which are either next generation console games or they said next generation games. This being one of them. So that
Skyrim has to be the other.
Well, yeah. Well, Elder Scrolls 6.
Sorry.
But yes,
Skyrim all the time.
Starfield was included into that reference. So we will either be waiting 2 to 3 years, I think, for this game.
I think it'll be out next year.
I don't know.
That's a bold prediction. I know it is, but I mean, we're definitely going to see gameplay next E3 without a doubt.
Especially with our next topic, considering we saw an actual Cyberpunk trailer, like a proper trailer, and we still didn't get a release date for that one, and there was a 15-minute demo at E3 of it.
Of what?
Of Cyberpunk 2077.
Oh.
And there was nothing of Starfield at all, apart from this teaser trailer. And like I said, that even Cyberpunk wasn't given a release date. So that could be 2 or 3 years away itself.
Well, it might be 2 years because, to be fair, the guys from Bethesda said they're all gung-ho on Fallout 76 right now.
Yeah. And that's thing is, well, that's Bethesda Softworks working on that, isn't it? That's their main. That's them as a developer working on it, not anyone like. What's the one? What does
ZeniMax?
Yeah, ZeniMax or anything like that. So yeah.
I don't want to get to a whole rant again because I'm just gonna get so mad. I'm just gonna say I'm so happy Fallout 76 is coming out because I've always wanted a online version of Fallout, and I'm truly excited that there's gonna have PvP in it.
Would you have been happy if they made a Fallout game, but it was basically ESO, but just Fallout instead?
I mean, that's what it almost sounds like it's going to be. So I mean,
kind of, yeah. But obviously, it's still kind of like a just RPG, just online. It doesn't sound like an MMO, does it? Essentially, it still sounds like a RPG, but there's no NPCs in the game. It's just.
Well, I was watching an interview today, some recent stuff, and with one of the developer guys was talking about it, and he was saying how okay, I'm gonna get into something crazy. Like a lot of people are complaining that it's online and it's gonna be ruining the lore and the whatever freaking crap that they want in it.
Yeah.
And the guy was answering back to that, being like, well, you know what, like, there's raiders in Fallout 4,
mm-hmm.
Like the NPCs or whatever. Like there will be raiders in this game too, but it will just be real people.
Yeah.
Like real people are gonna like there was 4 factions or whatever like that in Fallout 4, and a lot of people were complaining like, oh my god, there's not gonna be any faction lore. Well, yeah, there is. There's gonna be real people making real lore in the game. Like the game immersion, it might be better in this than an actual production version of Fallout. Like, you don't know how people are going to take this. Like people might actually make their own little trading outposts and factions and stuff like that in game. Like, this could be really big. I mean, I don't know why people are so salty about this being online. I mean, I don't want to go too into. I could already feel my blood pressure rising right now. But it's just that people need to chill the hell out and just see what the game is before you start making these just blanket statements about how it's going to be crap and it's not going to be a single player version of the game. It could be better. To me, it sounds like it's going to be better. This is something I've always wanted. It's cool to play through a single player game like Fallout, and I tell you, I probably put hundreds and hundreds of hours into it, and it's awesome. But at the same time, I play multiplayer games, not even PvP, just multiplayer MMO games, and I get so more drawn into that because I know there's real players out there, and you meet real people, and people role play, and they put their own spin on the story, and sometimes it's better that way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, people come up with their own storylines, and there's groups, and there's hundreds of guilds and factions, and like each one has a different type of feel to it. And I don't know. I mean, I think people are jumping the gun too fast and being too negative about this Fallout 76. Like, just waiting to see what the game comes out. And if you don't like it, then don't buy it. Like, they're not forcing you to buy this game.
Yeah, true.
Just if you're gonna feel that way, your single player game is coming out from Bethesda in a year or two, and that's gonna be Starfield, and that's been confirmed single player story missions and stuff like that. So you don't like Fallout 76, chill the fuck out, and then you'll have a single player game in like a year or two, and then you can go back to that or whatever. It won't be Fallout, but it will be a Bethesda single player game.
Mm-hmm.
So
I don't know. I'm hoping they don't get rid of raiders, because I only consider NPCs as being ones that you can talk to. Now, obviously, I know in Fallout 4, or at least what I can remember playing of it, just random raiders that you find walking around the map, you can't talk to them. They just automatically attack you, right? Correct?
Yeah, pretty much.
So like any of the animals do in Fallout 4. So when you get like is it mole rats? What are they called?
Oh, the mole rats, the scorpion, rad scorpions or whatever, and all that other.
The way that they
claws.
Yeah. So the way that they automatically attack you, the raiders do the same thing, don't they?
Yeah, they just pretty much attack you like on spot.
Yeah. So I'm hoping that they keep raiders in, because I don't personally class them as NPCs, unless they have dialogue where you can talk to them. So that kind of makes sense to me, because obviously, how many players are going to be in this map at a time?
I think they said somewhere between like 20 to 30, or maybe possibly, I think the most I heard was like 34 or 36, right. But it's going to be a small amount. I mean, it's not going to be, and it's a huge map.
And it's four times the size, yeah. 4 times the size of Fallout 4, so that's a lot, that's a few players spread over a wide area, and I mean, usually in Fallout 4 there's not a load of enemies to attack all the time anyway. It's not like a constant barrage of enemies. You tend to be walking for like a couple of minutes, and then you'll see like bloat flies, or like I said, mole rats, or a raider, or what are the messed up humans called?
The ghouls.
The ghouls, yeah. You might see some of them, but it's not like a constant barrage. Whereas if you take out things like raiders, or even the ghouls out of the game, then that's even less.
Depends how they fill out the world.
Well, that's what I mean. I think it makes sense to at least keep the raiders and the ghouls in there anyway.
I just don't know if they're going to add it, because they said that any person you see is going to be a live person. So I just don't know if they'll have the actual, like I say NPC raiders, but the AI raiders, I guess I should say. I don't know if they will. No one knows. I don't know. I mean, dude, this has to go through beta testing, and people might give feedback and be like, listen, you need more interaction, AI interaction. So they might put it in. Like, who knows? Like, this game still sounds like it's in somewhat development, and there's a wiggle room when they went through the betas and stuff like that. So I think what we think of what the game is right now and what he's saying could completely change upon release.
Yeah. Ooh, sorry about this, guys. Ugh. Right.
I'm excited for it, and like I'm not to that point where I'm going to be like putting it down and stuff like that. So
Right then. So our final topic, Cyberpunk was announced at the Xbox press conference, the very last showing. Cyberpunk 2077 was announced by CD Projekt Red. No release date or anything. We just got like a 1.5 2 minute trailer, and it looks incredible. Go on, sorry.
No. I'm just listening.
Oh, okay. And yeah, there was a 50-minute demo, not a playable demo, but a 50-minute video demo.
I have not seen that
yet. Well, it hasn't been shown it was behind closed doors.
Oh,
so it was only press. We're allowed to see it. You had to book it. You had to book in as press to go and see the 50-minute demo. So yeah, and according to if you guys want to go over to Kind of Funny Games or Kind of Funny on YouTube, subscribe to them. They talk about it on one of their videos, and it turns out the game is a first-person shoot. It's set in a first-person shooter kind of view. So, and it's just going to be as deep the RPG as their previous games, the Witcher series. So don't think it's a first-person shooter with like light RPG elements like Deus Ex or anything like that. It's going to be a proper RPG just set in a first-person view mode. But yeah, it's supposed to be incredible.
I'm excited for this one.
Yeah, I know a few companies, Kind of Funny themselves, gave it their Game of the Show award. So I don't know if anyone else has yet. I haven't checked out IGN or anyone else.
I'm more excited for this than I am Rage 2. Rage 2 doesn't look like something I'm even going to buy. So
I don't know. Yeah, I'm still gonna have to I might have to wait until it gets released and then see what gameplay looks like more. So yes, but yeah, I think this is going to be incredible. I've had The Witcher on my Steam for ages and I never played it, mainly because my PC couldn't handle it at the time.
It's really good, man.
Yeah, well, I've installed it and I just started playing it like yesterday or the day before. So I've just got out of the castle what you start in. So yeah, I'll let you guys know. The story
is really, really in depth.
Yeah, I've been debating whether just to get the third one on the PS4 and then just play that one, but I thought I'll just go through them both, the other two first, I think. But yes, guys, that was episode 37. Thank you so much for joining us. Me and Jeff really appreciate your continued support of the videos and the channel.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, thank you so much for watching, guys. If you've got any opinions or thoughts on both my ugly mug and the new setup for the videos, leave them down in the comment section below. Any thoughts on what we've been talking about today as well, leave them down below. Make sure you give this video a like because it really helps. Make sure you subscribe. Also, if you can, try and download the podcast on either your Apple devices or your Android phones or tablets or whatnot. Give us a rating on there as well because the ratings would really help us on the podcast providers. So
yeah,
yes,
the podcast on the Android stuff is really nice because if you're doing it on your mobile device, if you watch it on YouTube, it uses a lot of your battery. But if you listen to it on the podcast, it uses very little.
Yeah, because it's just the audio.
I'm not trying to steer people away from
no
like that, but I'm just saying that like if you don't really have a lot of battery life left and you just want to listen to this really quick or whatever, like that's the spot to do it in.
Yeah. So yeah, make sure you, like I said, leave us a rating on your chosen podcast provider. I'd be really grateful. And thank you so much for joining me again, Jeff.
Oh, no problem, man. It's always a pleasure.
Great. And from us to you guys, we shall see you next time.